Did you guys know the DCU started yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
The DCU started yesterday.
It is a weird way to kick it off with Creature Commandos.
Mm-hmm.
God, what's the one that's coming out? The fucking team that's like gay Superman and Batman.
The Authority.
Oh, Authority. Yeah.
So they're going to be, it's rumored, I don't know if this is true, but the Authority is already going to be around when Superman arrives, along with Justice League International. And it's like, it looks like he's, I think that rumor of doing kind of a reverse Kingdom Come might be true. You know, it's about rebuilding the hero.
James Gunn also, didn't he say the events of the Suicide Squad are canon in the DC universe? Right. So are you telling me Idris Elba shot Superman, David Cornsweat's Superman in the head and put him in the hospital?
No, okay, no. Well, maybe. Okay,
what about Peacemaker? Peacemaker 2.
Nobody saw it except for me. They're picking and choosing, but it certainly sounds like the Peacemaker show and the Suicide Squad are canon. Like, because they directly reference them twice. They talk about the Starro attack because Weasel survived it. They talk about Flag's son. Now, if we want to get to the age of Frank Grillo over, what's his name again, who played Flag? Joel Kinnaman. That means he would have had Kinnaman when he was 14. They fudged it a little bit and made it 18 in the show. But
it could have.
So Man of Steel, Justice League, Batman versus Superman, all of that stuff doesn't count anymore.
It's gone.
Correct.
Most of it's gone. Gunn's going to pick and choose from his stuff. That would be especially like his wife. Like that's what
it looks like.
The credits start like you've got a normal credits. The animation is fine. It's not extraordinary. The music is bloody awful. It's terrible. But the credits end with animated James Gunn at a typing and then going like this when he's done. Like that's where it goes in on the show. And I know they're trying to do a Stephen J. Canal thing where he threw the thing up, but that white guy was a G. I think it comes off looking kind of cringe. I think it's like, wow, somebody's really proud of themselves. Hope this is a fucking home run, bro. And if it is, okay, you win. But dude, this was not a good start because it wasn't very good. It was kind of boring. And incels are the bad guys.
The problem with trying to rebuild the superhero is normie. Like, I often just go off, what do I know? Because I don't know anything about superheroes. So I'm like peak normie when it comes to any of this stuff. And if you're trying to be an artist and rebuilding the superhero by all your connected property, nobody knows what they are, so they don't care about them. So you have to start with the big mainstream things because that's what people care about. And if you build up off this crap, nobody will know how intelligent or smart you were, even if that's your plan in the first place.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
No, that's a very good point because I think he started out in his comfort zone, which, you've responded to this guy a couple times on Twitter. It's the Blu-ray Angel, whatever the fuck he's called.
Oh, he gets invited to everything and everything's amazing.
Blu-ray Con.
Blu-ray, Angel. Blu-ray Con, whatever.
The dude who's... is this the fucking dude who's like, Matt Reeves shared my reaction?
Yeah.
Very hype.
He went after James Gunn, and he's not wrong. James Gunn just remakes Guardians of the Galaxy over and over again, and that's what he did here. He took an eclectic group of rogue superheroes, possibly villains, put them together on a team. I mean, it's a Suicide Squad. And it is the Creature Commandos, and they can't use humans, and they explain it. So it's still the Suicide Squad. And they have, like, the bride who is from the Grant Morrison. Like, they drew from New 52 a lot, which is already a fucking problem. If you're a comic book fan, you're like, what? That's what they're drawing from? Yes. There's a lot of New 52 stuff in there. New 52 sucked. Absolutely sucked. So we have the bride from Frankenstein and the Agent of Shade. There's G.I. Robot, who's probably the best thing in it. Abe Sapien chick. I just forgot her name when I read this stuff. No, not Fish Tits. No? Okay. But it all came
that's a
from
real
the
thing?
No. Well, not in DCU. It's Mazursky or something like that. And Frankenstein's in it. And who else? I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, and Flag.
Flag, yeah.
Yeah. And it's just introducing them, but you're pretty much focusing on the bride for the first 2 episodes and her background and her relation to Frankenstein, who they make a total cuck in this.
So it just looks like another example of Warner Brothers pivoting in the most muddy, confusing way for the audience. That's their whole problem with Zack Snyder's arc, was they never let Zack Snyder do what Zack Snyder did. I didn't like what Zack Snyder was doing, but they never let him do anything. So they decided halfway through, pivot to something else, and then wait, let's pivot back. and then let's pivot another time. And now we're going to scrap all of it and hire James Gunn, but we're still not going to fully, cleanly separate our universe.
Yeah.
We're going to half-ass, this counts, that doesn't count.
I think
what are we doing?
I think what he's counting on, and I'm trying to be fair here. Well, I think what he's counting on, and he might not be wrong, that especially the stuff after initial Snyder, versus all the flops, he can draw from that, and very few people are going to know because very few people watch those movies, and
That's true.
they just don't. A lot of people don't know the difference between Marvel and DC, and never will. Really
to just
weird way
explain
to
how
start.
the normie audience is, my dad, when he went to see the original Joker movie, thought he was going to see a Dark Knight 2. They just know the Joker's in this movie, the Joker's in that movie.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
going to see them both.
Yeah,
So
where's
they get
Batman?
incredibly disappointed.
Yeah.
James Gunn probably gets royalties for Suicide Squad and stuff like that, and so I kind of think it's obvious why he's trying to shoehorn.
And he's,
I
dude,
think it has
he's
so
the
little-
boss too.
Yeah, I don't think that has anything to do with the royalties might get from it. I think it's just because it's his stuff.
Yeah.
I think that has way more to do with it than a
alive.
couple $1 million on the top of his already insane fucking. Because he's going to be executive producing every single thing that comes out.
Dude, he's Kevin Feige.
Yeah,
him and his and Pete and what's the Peter? What's the
Safran?
producer? Safran.
Peter
Yeah.
Safran.
Yeah, they're co-Kevin Feige's. They are in charge. What he said was, this is the start of the DCU, but the real start is with Superman. So it's kind of a start. I think
That's
it's
the
more
best way to
connected.
start a race, kind of. That's the best way to start a race, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have guessed that the start of the new DCU would be the new Superman movie, but
Yeah.
It's
apparently
a
not.
soft opening.
It's a soft opening. Circe has got her group of incels, and they're attacking a country. And within like the first 10 minutes, they The Boys season 2 did this, and they did this at the end of Batman, and it's the same shit. It's simp incels for Circe, the Amazonian sorceress, and they say like the jokes don't land. Like, if you're going to make fun of them, fine, make fun of them. But they got one on video who said it's like sexist to keep men off of Themyscira. And then another guy goes, yeah, all the woke feminists out there, they get all the good waterfalls. Why do they get all the good waterfalls? And that's like, what? What are you even saying?
What does that even mean?
I have no idea.
I think it's a joke about making women wet. That's what
maybe
I think it is.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And there's sex in it. There's some tits. They're dropping F-bombs in this cartoon. So, yeah, it's a really interesting start. Not the worst thing I've ever seen, but I don't think it just didn't feel like James Gunn, and he wrote it, and it didn't feel like it. So I don't know. Like after I watched Peacemaker season 1, I don't know how good he is at writing TV. To be honest with you, wasn't enamored with Peacemaker season 1 at all.
I just don't think you can do comedy when you're pushing against an open door. So if you're already attacking the people where it's acceptable to be attacked, you're not going to be funny because you're just going to be making the same things everyone else is, or trying to, like, I don't even know what the waterfall thing is, but if they wanted to go comedy, they'd have to go counterculture. That's where comedy is.
It sounded like they just wanted to say the term woke feminist, but they didn't really want to fucking gaslight anybody. So they just made some it's like, okay, all right.
Weird.
And then they all get like fucking gunned down. Just completely gunned down. I'm sure they're going to respond. But yeah, it's just introducing the bride and the team.
It just sounds like the difference between comedy and like clap comedy, where it's like, yes, I agree with this
Like
thing.
SNL.
Content sounds horrible. Yeah, congratulations. Just
Like Velma.
yes. Yeah.
There's a couple times-
all left-wing comedy is just clap comedy.
There's a couple times where
Fair.
it felt like they kind of tried to go a little Venture Brothers. It's like, don't bother. Don't even go there.
Did the
Venture
whole
Brothers is
season
fine.
drop, or is it?
Yeah, you
or is
can't
it-
No,
touch
it's
that.
just two episodes. So it could get better, but we'll see.
Does the thing with incels also in The Boys, does it feel like an allegory for the fandom?
Yes,
For
it's
nerds?
the chuds. It's the chuds. We are in their fucking brain.
That's
They're
the
in their
feeling I
brain
get.
while they're writing TV shows, while they're like in charge of multi-million-dollar projects. We are in their fucking skull. How crazy
Yeah.
is that?
Are we the chuds?
They write what they know.
Oh yeah, we're the chuds. You're the
Chuds.
biggest
Be the
chud.
chuds.
Chud is such a great insult because it's one that you made up that nobody else uses, and so nobody else knows what you...
Yeah.
The insults that really hit home are the ones that nobody knows what you mean by them.
Oh, Disparo, you such a shabble English.
Exactly. I still don't know what the word word means. You just get called it randomly.
God basket.
At least insult about what they care about.
Yeah, I mean, the main reason it's not good is it's not written very well. The voice acting isn't that spectacular. I know the critics are loving it, and the jokes are just, they don't land. They're not good. And usually James Gunn is pretty good at that stuff. The best joke in the MCU, your ship's a mess. It's like, oh, don't put a black light in here. It'll look like a Jackson Pollock painting. I mean, that came from an MCU movie, okay? A cum stain joke. It's great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
This stuff, not good.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.